Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Hi if you're new, my name is Brenda and today we're gonna be doing a urban legend about La Llorona. So if you are Hispanic, you will know about this legend, but if you're not, let me introduce you to it. So we're gonna be talking about two versions of how it originated. So the first legend of La Llorona, she is known as Maria also. She was born in a peasant family, so family that didn't have money, but her beauty always got the attention of many men, wealthy or not wealthy. Saw her beauty and so they wanted to marry her. She would often wear this white gown because she thought she looked beautiful in it, and a lot of the times when she wore this white gown, she would get the attention of men. So the men would always be waiting for her to walk by the street or wherever she would be going. Men would often seem like they were waiting for her so that they can get her attention. Now, in this origins, it is said that she had 2 kids, and because of that, it often made it difficult for her to seek out romance because she had to take care of her kids. No one was there to take care of her kids, and so she did not like that. So one day during the evening, her kids were found drowned in the river. Some say that they drowned due to her negligence, and others speculated that she drowned them and just left their bodies stream down to the bank of the river. And so I guess in this version you can call her vain because she cared about her looks and about the attention that she got from men. Now let's talk about the second version. So the second version also calls her La Llorona and Maria, and she is described as a caring woman that was full of life, love to give, and she married a wealthy man, and this man spoiled her with gifts, gave her all the lavish things she wanted, and eventually they got married and she got pregnant. So after she gave birth to her 2 kids, the man was no longer interested in her. He wasn't giving her the attention anymore. He was going back to his old ways of being a womanizer, an alcoholic, and he was just not giving her the attention that he used to when she did not have their kids. And because of him returning into this life, he would go and leave her for months and then return to only see his kids. So he no longer cared about her. You know, that's believable because that even happens now. And so he would often tell Maria, also known as La Llorona, that he was planning on marrying another woman of his own wealthy class. And so, like I said, when he would return, it was only to see the kids. And because of this, Maria became very resentful towards the kids. And it is said that one evening, Maria was strolling down to the river with her 2 kids on a shady path. So Maria saw her husband in the carriage with a very elegant woman, and he stopped the carriage to talk to the kids, but he didn't speak a word to Maria. And then he drove away in the carriage, and of course this angered Maria. She went into a terrible rage, causing her to turn against her kids. And it is said that she threw the kids into the river and, you know, they drowned, and then she went downstream to see if she can save them after this rage had passed. However, it was already too late because the children had already indeed drowned. And of course, because of this, Maria was built up with guilt because she did this to her kids, and she was inconsolable and with so much grief that she would be running down the street wailing, saying, "Mis hijos, ay, mis hijos," which translates to my children, which, side note, I know this does happen in real life where the woman becomes so spiteful of their husband because their husband left them or whatnot. But I just can't wrap my head around doing that to your own kid. Like, I just can't. I think that is a horrible thing to do just to spite your spouse. And it breaks my heart when I hear stuff like that. So the beautiful Maria mourned all day and night. She was not eating. She was not drinking water. So she got so thin that they described her as looking like a skeleton in a gown. And so she would cry in hopes that would bring her children back, which of course it would never. And as she would search in different riverbanks, her white gown started to get, gross because mud and all of that. And so, like I said, they described her as a skeleton. And then she finally died, which I would guess is due to the whole starvation and dehydration. Not long after her death, people started seeing her in riverbanks, and it was always only at night, and you can hear her crying and her wailing. And this soon became known as the curse of La Llorona. Also, translation for La Llorona means the weeping woman, or the crying woman, I guess you could also call her. And so at night, people began to be afraid to be out because you can hear her, which, like, in general, like, I would not be wanting to go out at night because I get scared. So when people describe her, they describe as seeing her walking along the river stream or down by the riverbank, or they also describe her being seen in walking on top of the water, I guess you can. And as she's walking, she is, of course, looking for her kids, crying for her kids. And so because of her doing this, they no longer called her Maria. That's when they started calling her La Llorona. And this story took place in Mexico, but as you will see right now, it doesn't just stay in Mexico. So because of these incidents, children are told from a very young age that if they are by a river at night, that they need to go home right away, or else La Llorona is gonna snatch them up and throw them to the depths by drowning in the river. So even though that legends vary by who you talk to, the apparition is said to act without hesitation or mercy, and the tales of her cruelty depends on the variation that you might hear. Some people say that she kills anyone, children, women, men, whoever is foolish enough to get close enough to her as she is crying. And then others say that she is very barbaric and kills children, dragging them to their screaming graves. But you get the gist. She'll kill you, kids, whoever, and she will drown them like legend says she drowned her own kids. Now let's get to some reports of people saying they have seen her. We're gonna talk about a man named Patricio. When he was a boy, him and his family saw her in a creek between Mora and Guadalajara, New Mexico. As the family was sitting and talking outside, they saw a tall, thin woman walking around the creek. She then seemed to be floating on top of the water, and she was seeming to go upstream. She just vanished, and then, however, moments later, she reappeared much closer to them and then disappeared again. The family looked for footprints. They found none, and without a doubt, they knew it was La Llorona. She has been seen along many rivers across the entire Southwest. The legend has become part of many Hispanic cultures. And then another part of the legend is if you're not treating your family well, she will appear to you and she will teach you a lesson, which she will scare you or she will kill you. So another story is about a man named Infancio Garcia. We're just gonna call her Garcia because Mr. Garcia, because I cannot say his name a lot. that well. So he was a outspoken boy that argued with his mother and his father, and after a heated argument, Mr. Garcia, along with his brother Carlos, decided to leave the ranch, which this ranch is located in Santa Fe, and they met a woman that was really tall, thin, and was wearing a black tapelo and a black net over her face, so like a veil, you would say. And the two of the boys were riding in front of the wagon, and the spirit appeared next to them on an open seat in the wagon. And she was just sitting there quietly. And then the boys decided to turn back their wagon to go back home. And she said to him, "I'll visit you again if you're arguing with your mother." And that was that. So in Santa Fe, New Mexico, there has been sightings of a spirit that meets like all the characteristics of La Llorona. Guys, I need to tone down this blush because it's a bit much. So La Llorona has been heard at night wailing next to rivers by so many people, and it is said that La Llorona follows Hispanic people wherever they go. Her appearances have been noted in the Southwest and in the Montana banks of the Yellowstone River. So that is the story of La Llorona. So she just killed her kids, and she's always looking for her kids. And a lot of people report that they have seen her and witnessed her. So now I'm going to tell you guys, well, it's not really my story. It's my sister's story that she has said to me many times, and she claims to have seen La Llorona. So for some time we lived in Mexico, and by where we lived there was like this riverbank, I guess you can call it. It was like kind of sealed away by bricks. My sister, she's always been like someone that likes to be out late at night. At least that's how she was when she was like much younger. I think when this happened she was like 15 or 16. And so we have a lot of cousins in Mexico, and you know, they like to mess around late at night. They like to be past curfew. And so my sister claims that they were by that like riverbank that's closed off, and that, you know, her and my cousins, they were just messing around, playing dumb jokes on each other, and that they started hearing "Ay, mis hijos, mis hijos." But she said like at first it was like very soft, and then it just started progressively getting louder, and that they looked over the river, this like riverbank thing, that they looked over our houses, which were like protected by this wall, and then it was this like river man-made thing. And so they said that they peeked over very quietly to see if it was just someone playing a prank on them. And when they looked, they saw La Llorona. Now, they said that she was wearing a white dress with a white veil that looked very ragged and like as you expect. And so they're kids, they're stupid. So the boy cousins started calling out to it to get its attention, and that one side of her face was super beautiful. And the moment that she turned, because they got her attention, the other face was like super disturbing, super ugly, horrific looking. And so she tells that the Llorona started chasing them. And so that they were running as far as they could, and they were running to like one of my aunt's house because my sister didn't want to get in trouble with my mom. And that, you know, it was chasing them, and then La Llorona was like keeping up with them, and that then her and like all the cousins then started saying like bad words and to like leave them alone, because it's like a known thing in like a lot of Hispanic, or if you're Mexican, that if like a ghost is bothering you, a spirit is bothering you, like just to like tell them off, and they usually back down because they don't sense your fear and they will leave you alone. And so they were left alone, but she has claimed that she has seen La Llorona countless times, and like a lot of people claim that they see her the way my sister described her, which is one side pretty and the other side ugly. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys found out this a little interesting, a little spooky. If you want to see The Curse of La Llorona, it's kind of a good movie to watch, so I definitely recommend it to you guys. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe so our community keeps on growing. Comment down below any questions, or if you have any spooky tales, comment them down below. Follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.